I know there's some places that compete, but I'm telling you, it's the greatest place, and I'm not going to sit here. This is not an ad for University of Alabama, but it is.
Just make it clear, because Slade's already said it. Best university in the country. Best fan base in the country.
Yep.
Best athletes in the country. Best coach in the country. Best women in the country. Best everything in the country. University of Alabama. Vote Crimson Tide for president. You heard it here first.
First we gonna rock, then we gonna fold, then we let it pop, don't let it go.
All right. Welcome back to Bring the Juice. I'm your host, Frank Dalena. Today we got a greedy-ass pod. I'm co-hosted by my guy, Mac from Bama. Mac, we have a few guests in town. Why don't you introduce the one we got today?
We got a special one, folks. You know, there was a ton. Look, Alabama is a powerhouse. Not only that, but a powerhouse for wide receivers. We have some of the top wide receivers in the country. People say we're wide receiver U, and I'd like to agree, although I didn't really add on to that at all. But there was one guy who
fuck
did.
that, Mac. Don't say shit like that.
I didn't. I mean, I did. But there was one guy in particular. When you think about wide receiver groups, there's a type of person that stands out. And it's a white guy. I'm not going to lie. And there are very few raw-ass white guy receivers, one being Frank's little brother, Mac Dalena, Frank himself, and then we're looking at one right here. Slade Bolden, welcome to the pod.
Wow.
Man,
what an intro.
Hell of an intro. I appreciate it. And I've been fired up since you told me about this podcast Wednesday. You know, obviously just met Frank, and man, when I say the name of this podcast, Bring the Juice, and I like to say, I am the juice. I am. The action is the juice for me. And that's a Heat quote that he didn't know. He's never seen the movie, and I was kind of pissed. But it's okay. But anyway, it's funny. So, you know, like my career wasn't obviously the guys around me. I didn't have that kind of career. I mean, you got to think, I played with 5 first-round picks.
Yeah, name them off.
Really 6 if Mechie doesn't get hurt in the SEC Championship. So we got Jerry Jeudy, Devontae Smith, Henry Ruggs, Jalen Waddle, Jameson Williams, and who I would think would have been a first-round pick, my dog, John Mechie, if he didn't get hurt.
Right.
So I always say 5, probably 6 first-round picks in one room.
It's crazy.
Very. And here's the thing. Like, I am so grateful to have been in that room because, man, I couldn't get off press my freshman year. Like, I came in as an athlete, quote-unquote. I was recruited as an athlete. I played mainly quarterback in high school. These guys have been playing training receiver, since they were probably in middle school, you know, early on in high school, and they were doing things I ain't never seen before. Wow. And I'm just like, what is that release? What is this top of the route? What are you doing? And obviously, like, physically, yes, they're more gifted than me, but the way I looked at things and the way I was able to learn and get on the field and be able to not only just get on the field, but eventually start was because I was able to pick different things from each receiver. And like, yeah, I'm not as explosive as Waddle, but man, I really like what he just did right there. Let me see if I can do it in my way. I'm not as smooth as Smitty with releases, but I really like that release. Maybe I can do it a little in my way, maybe quick, because I'm quicker than fast. And I'm the most stereotypical
A little bit of that
white receiver
crafty
you can ever imagine, right? And I love my dog Judy. I can't run routes like Judy. That boy ain't got no ACLs. Let me tell you. Like, he's cutting and doing things. I'm just like, but, so them South Florida boys, when they would come out of their breaks, like on a curl, you know, come back, they would snap and they would roll out of it. What we were always taught is 1, 2, 3. You know, you snap down, and then 2, 3.
Right.
I would take that snap down, but also use my low center of gravity, because I was short, and be able to snap, not like they would, not as quick, not as fast, not as explosive as they would, but be able to snap down and then go into my second and third step, and I was able to get out of transitions pretty smoothly. So, moral of the story is, being in that room, not only the competition was high, we put our own group into a different standard. We called ourselves the Rideouts. And our boy Herf got us a shirt made. I still love it.
Hey, the Rideout shirt. I have it too, but mine's shrink.
Yeah,
I still have it. I'm never leaving that shirt.
It's a battle shirt. Yeah, it's a little. But hey, it was sweet. So we call ourselves a Rideout. So you have the Bama standard, right? The standard that Coach Saban set for the whole team. We had our own standard. There was a Rideout standard, and we were going to beat. If you lined up in front of me, good luck, because you're gonna get this work today. And we set our own standard. We competed within our own group. Within each other, and I felt like that is what made me the player I became. And look, could I have gone to a different school?
Sure.
And maybe started earlier, got more receptions, targets, yards, receptions, whatever you want to call it, statistically had done better.
Right.
Yes. But to me, I don't think I'd have been as near as good as a receiver as I became playing with those guys every day. And I was going against first-round DBs.
Right.
I'm going against Xavier McKinney, Trayvon Diggs, Pat Surtain, and maybe there's definitely some other guys. I mean,
There's a bunch of
guys that
we overlap. So I
go
don't.
first round, but like some dogs.
Josh Jobe.
Josh Joe was a dog.
Yep.
I went against Brian Branch every day for like my senior year. Malachi Moore, who's going to be a top pick this comes draft year, whatever. I would go, and I tell you, like in the slot, Brian Branch was one of the hardest guys I ever had to go against. Shaim Carter was another one. He was very crafty.
Dog.
Jalen Armour Davis is crafty. I had to go against him
dog.
and when I got to Baltimore after I left college, I was going against Jalen again. I'm like, bro, like you can't go against me because you know all the damn tricks I got. And he was like, well, you know mine too. I was like, yeah, but like, let's go against each other. Or let's go against somebody else. Like, let's not go against each other because we know too much about each other. Because when I was on the outside, I swear I was going against him more than Job. But I'm telling you, kudos to Brian Branch. He's been balling. When I tell you I had to damn near run a perfect route every time in practice because we treated practice like it was a game.
Right.
And that's what obviously prepared us for the games and made us so dangerous because once you got to the game, it was like, oh, this is easy. I've seen this every day. So when I tell you going against him every day not only helped me, but that boy nice. Like he was strong, quick, very crafty, and like I had to be perfect to get open against him. So shout out to my dog Brian Branch. Shout out to all those guys that I had to go against that made me better each and every day. Being on that scout team my freshman year also made me a lot better because, like I said, when I first got there, I was getting stuffed at the line. Like,
Well, and two, you forget. Oh, I remember this. So you came in, you're 3-star out of high school, whatever.
Yeah.
Athlete.
I got a note here. Louisiana Gatorade Player of the Year. Do you know that? Did you have that fucking bullet point down on your notes, Mac?
Yeah.
I like that note. That's a
did.
great note.
It's a good fucking note.
People don't know that. See, that's
Good
the
note.
funny thing, Frank.
I don't know
It's
if I
funny
knew
you
that or
mention
not.
right?
Do you like Gatorade?
I love Gatorade.
What are you, huh?
Yeah.
Fucking
Okay.
vitamin water, weird ass.
No, Pierce got me a vitamin water today at the airport.
Nah, fuck that. We drinking Gatorade.
But
on
I
this
ain't had no damn Gatorade, so you lucky we got you something.
But I do remember this. But yeah, Slade, Gatorade Player of the Year.
Yep, I was fortunate to do that. Now,
Who was your competition in that?
Well, there was a couple good, like really good players in Louisiana. Obviously, a lot of talent in Louisiana. It's not the biggest. It's not Texas. It's not Cali. It's not Florida. Even obviously Alabama has a lot of.
I think it's top 10.
A lot of talent, but I think per capita, I guess how you say per capita. Yeah, I think we're up there. Like based off the population and the amount of players that come out of there, comparatively, I think we're right there at the top just because of all the dogs that have came out. I mean, we can dive into a rabbit hole of all the Louisiana players. So yeah, I was fortunate to receive that award, and it's funny because you mentioned that because stereotypically being a white guy, wide receiver playing at Bama, it's like, oh, you must have been a walk-on, or you walked on, didn't you, or did you transfer? And I'll circle back to this because it's funny when people would ask me, nah, baby, this fool's Scotty. Like, what are you talking about? But because like I was like, and I'm not sitting here bragging, it's you got it as a no, like I was a good player. I mean, I had a bunch of offers. Yeah. I was, like you said, Louisiana Gatorade Player of the Year. I didn't get a Bama offer just because of some odd reason. Like I was nice, but I was
check the fucking highlight tape.
Right. Oh yeah. Check
that Huddle out.
Check that YouTube. That's that YouTube. We didn't have Huddle. We didn't use Huddle. But
crazy about you.
But the thing is, like, coming in, I was recruited as an athlete, so it's I mainly played quarterback, and I was more of a running quarterback. I'll be honest. I've seen kids nowadays at 8th grade, 9th grade level, they're spinning it way better than I could ever even thought about as a senior in high school.
Right.
It's crazy because those guys have a specific quarterback trainer, and they start early. And I always joke with my pops, and like, he always says something to me. He's like, so what do you think if we'd had you like a trainer? I was like, well, I'd like to think I'd have been Johnny Manziel-esque. No, I ain't going to say I was Johnny, but I was saying I think I could have been something similar because I was very athletic. I had a good arm. It's just the mechanics and the way these guys are spinning the ball now, and like I barely could read defenses at the time. That all that stuff correlates. If I'd have had someone teaching me how to actually be a Division I or whatever quarterback or a high level quarterback from an early age, I believe I could have made some shit shake.
Yeah.
But you go to Western Road Runner, Louisiana, you go find me a trainer. I'm the only one that probably can train kids. And when I go back every now and then, I'll train some kids. And that's because I'm just giving back. But it was just an old school, hard nosed high school. We were a powerhouse for years. From 1993 to 2011, won 8 state championships, 2 national championships. I mean, you guys like Andrew Whitworth, Barkevius Mingo, Brady James, Xavier Woods, who's still in the league. We've had a bunch of guys that come through there and have success in college and post-college. But we ran the option. We ran the veer out of the I formation for years, and it worked. It worked. And when I got to high school, we started running kind of what Auburn ran with Nick Marshall. Like that, basically, instead of a pitch, we're throwing the bubble. That was like the third read or the option. So it changed a little bit. It changed before I even got there. So the most I threw in a game was like 22, and that's nothing. That's half of what
22 yards?
22
attempts.
I was about to say 22 yards, pal.
I think my senior year stats, because I pretty much played quarterback my whole senior year. Now, freshman, sophomore, junior, a lot more quarterback for sure. But the reason I was a cruise athlete is I would play running back, I'd play receiver, and I go at receiver. I was athletic and fast enough to run decent routes and, just get by. And, I always had great hand-eye coordination. That's what I felt like separated me in general, was just my ability to catch everything.
Right.
But I'm telling you, because I've trained kids, and I've like, look, running routes and being a complete receiver to me is a science.
It is.
Everyone wants to talk about releases. Everybody wants to, this is how you gotta win off the line. You're like, okay, how many times are you gonna get pressed in the game? It depends.
If it's a weakness,
right,
it'll attack you.
Exactly. Yeah. Like
Especially in the slot.
When we played LSU all the time, they would go a lot of one man, one robber. They would play a lot of cover one, and then sometimes they throw zero at us. So yeah, there were times where we get pressed a lot, but I'm like, dude, I have won a lot of routes and have caught the ball winning after the release. Because it's a fight all the way down. Whatever route you're running, it's a battle between when that ball is snapped and when that ball is caught. And then guess what you got to do after you catch the ball? You got to go score. So I break it down of course releases are very important, especially when it's press. But you got stem. You got to find. You got to move a guy. Yeah, leverage. Oh, there's so many different things. And then, okay, what are you going to do at the top of the route? What are you going to do from the release and the top of the route?
We speed cutting? What are we doing,
Are you stacking? Are you fighting hands off? Because it's a battle. And when I've trained some kids in the past, it's like I'm trying. I'm telling you all this, right? I'm trying to break it down because I'll break it down from the top of the route, I'll break it down from release, and I'll break it down. Okay, what are we doing in between that? And now obviously we're going to work on the hands. But I'm like, I'll be honest with you, I'm not even worried about the release. First off, these young guys, they're not getting pressed that much. But I was like, dude, I've won a lot of routes just fighting in the end, and then being more technically sound at the top of my route, more savvy at the top of my route, and then more savvy within my routes that I'm running in general. That's what I had to do. I wasn't the most athletic. I wasn't the fastest. I wasn't the biggest. I had to run smooth, crispy, decisive. I say the best receivers are the best deceivers. If I can deceive you to thinking I'm doing one thing and I'm doing the other, I got you. I'm going one way, you're going the other. All that needs is a step. If I make you make one little wrong, false movement, you're beat. I don't care how fast you are.
Yeah.
Sadly, I was the most stereotypical white receiver. I'll air it out. I ran the slowest 40 time of the combine in my group.
Which wasn't slow though.
Comparatively speaking, no. I mean, I ran game speed, and this is what's kind of messed up, right? Love my dogs at XPE. That's who trained me coming to the combine. A week before the combine, we're testing our lasers. I ran a 4.51 laser. I was like, shit, you give me a week off? I might mess around and get a 4.4. I might mess around and get a 4.4.
Right.
And here, I'm not going to sit here and say that me running a sub 4.5 or mid 4.5 or a high 4.4 was going to
difference maker.
Yeah, I was going to get drafted because of that. Do I think it would have helped? Of course. But I'm going in, I'm thinking, okay, like I might mess around, at least run a low 4.5. And that's all I needed.
Right.
In my opinion, to at least go like 5th, 6th round. Obviously, I went undrafted, and my time was what? Because that was a big question mark on me. Was like, how fast is he? What's his top end speed? I was a football player. I was always a gamer. Like, just let me go out there and play football.
Right.
That was always what I did best. I'm not gonna blow you away in the gym short Olympics, which is what the combine is. I'm gonna blow you away what I do when we put on pads and it's 85 or 95 degrees and it's humid as hell, and it's like, all right, who wants it more?
Yeah.
Because I guarantee you, I always wanted it more than that person in front of me because I had to get it from the jump. So the reason I'm saying that is it's funny because I was the most stereotypical wide receiver, quicker than fast, hard worker, all that, but I had to be, right? I had to be that way. That's what allowed me to be a receiver at the University of Alabama.
What I was going to say, what it was cool to see is that when Slade came in, when I brought up the quarterback thing, is he ran scout team quarterback as an early enrollee and did a damn good job of it. We were playing. Who did we play that
Citadel.
year? Citadel.
They ran the wing T option.
You knew your shit.
Drove us nuts.
The
And
best
Slade
week of my life as a freshman.
dominated.
I loved it.
He dominated.
I loved it.
Alabama's first team D. I mean, it was kind of fun. I didn't really love it as a wide receiver on the scout team because I'm blocking.
Blocking on the outside.
I'm having to do crazy, like different wild
Every now and then
blocks.
it's like some glitch throw you have to pass.
And Slade's throwing it, and it's not coming to you at that point. But his ability,
Unnecessary shot.
his ability to get back there and make people miss was incredible. Like that was the time, and it was fun hearing you two talk about. So like you went from that, so they had you doing that kind of stuff when you're an early enrollee, helping out on that end and stuff like that. But then getting to see you come as a wide receiver, because when you came in, I was at like a junior, and that was like I had started in the spring
2 years
game
together. So
yeah, so I started in the spring game the year before that, and I was like, all right, like. I'm gonna walk on. Like, got a little bit of time. I'm thinking, like, I'm gonna get, get my action. Like, I'm gonna get my stuff. They bring in this other guy, Slade Bolden. I'm like, please keep him over there at quarterback or whatever. DB, Slade played
Running back.
Slade played everything. DB,
Yeah.
water. They tried him around at everything.
Side note, when I early enrolled, so this is actually kind of crazy.
Yeah, let's talk early enrollment.
That early enrollment, right? Similar to Pierce, early enrolled, practiced with the team before they went to Georgia for the national championship.
You finished your high school season senior year.
Early.
Yeah.
So December or in
December-ish,
right.
November-ish,
and, same thing, kind of what Pierce was telling y'all about. Very cool, just very crazy, just wild experience being 18 years old going against a defense that's going to be playing a national championship game in a week. Mm-hmm. And that was the game where it was 2nd and 26, the one from Tua to Smitty. So that was just to kind of put in perspective what team that was. That was that team.
No, that team had a very hard-fought game against Fresno State, in which Fresno State covered the spread that year. So
Really? Well,
Continue.
that's good.
Good for you, man.
I love that. Did you hammer it?
I was fucking I was there. I was playing.
Hey, I mean, like,
But no, I did not hammer.
okay, yeah, hot mic. No, so like it was so cool, and it was different, but going into spring training that year, so Brian Dable recruited me, and
Love Dable.
he was one of the first coaches and teams, and this was one of the many reasons why I went to Alabama, not because of the girls there, because yeah, there were some pretty girls there. Anyways,
Yeah.
because Dable actually sat me down and was like, hey, this is what we can do with you in our offense. And I was like, dude, that's all I wanted to know. Like, there were some other teams that I was really considering going, but they never really showed me how I'd fit in their offense. They would tell me, oh, you can play the slot or, scat back. Because I also, Washington Huskies, I was their number one running back recruit, which is crazy. A kid from Louisiana, all the way. I mean, that's a long ways. And I sometimes wish I'd have went up there and checked it out, but I knew
it's dope up there.
Grandparents weren't gonna let me go up there. No, I was way too far from home. So I get there early enroll. I'm there a month. Dable takes the OC job for the Bills, and I'm like, shit. Okay, that was kind of my guy who
Right.
was going to give me probably the best opportunity to play receiver. So day before spring training starts, I get a text. I can't remember who texted me. So, hey, you got a meeting with Coach.
Nick.
Yes. Yeah. Coach Saban. And I am like, obviously I knew I didn't do anything wrong, but I'm like, I'm anxious. Like,
Why the fuck does Coach Saban want to talk to me?
Yeah, right now, of course, of all things. And I had a little inkling of what it possibly was. So how I like to describe Coach Saban's meetings is you kind of listen, and he tells you what's
going to happen,
and what you may or may want to hear. Either way, you're going to listen, yes sir, no sir. And I've asked him questions. Don't get me wrong, but normally it's and he's mostly right. I mean, obviously he's the greatest college football coach of all time. Like he knows what he's doing. I would never question any of his decision making. He's like, Slade. He's like, we lost a lot of guys in the draft this year at defensive back. We got a lot of guys coming in at receiver. We got the 4 guys.
We got Hereford.
Well, we got Jerry. We got Jerry. Yeah. I forgot that was the first guy you mentioned. Whatever. Anyway, he was like, we got Jerry Jeudy, we got Devontae Smith, we got Henry Rose at receiver, and we got this new kid coming in, Jalen Waddle. And I would tell you about that. And he was like, we got this other guy that's, playing the slot, so you'd be like a three deep at slot. He's like, we need depth at defensive back. I'm just like, yes, sir.
Yes, coach.
Yeah, he's like, well, what we're going to do this spring, we're going to move you to safety. I ain't never played safety in my life. And okay, in high school, I would play corner and safety.
Some high school bullshit.
Yeah, if exactly, 100%. If we're playing a heavy pass team and we
throw the athlete out there.
Yeah, I need to cover their second best receiver or whatever, because we usually had one really good corner. But I didn't know how to actually play safety. When I tell you, that was one of the hardest semesters, practices, spring training of my life. I didn't know what the hell I was doing out there. And it's so hard learning defense, especially at safety, because you're the signal callers. You got the linebacker, he's the mic's usually signaling, but you're communicating. And if you don't know what the hell you're doing, you're not helping the team. You're not helping defense at all.
No.
And I didn't know what the hell I was doing. So I remember the first day of practice, because I'm just like, yes, after that end of that meeting, I'm like, yes, sir, coach, like whatever it takes. Like I'm always going to be a team player at the end of the day.
Right.
I'm also 18. I just got there. I'm not going to tell coach like, no, I'm saying receiver coach. No, I'm not saying that.
No.
Of course.
You didn't have a choice, pal.
No, I did not have a single choice. Anyways, I remember first day of practice, I'm sitting there. And, we're doing 2-on-2 slot coverage. We didn't do 1-on-1s. So we did 2-on-2 slot coverage. And, I was supposed to play man. Well, I thought I was playing zone. Because I didn't know what the hell I was doing. So I go dropping my zone. I go like in the buzz of the flat. Slade, what are you doing? It's man. I'm like, yes, sir. All right, go again. This time I'm supposed to be playing zone. Mind you, they're throwing the signals at us. Like, hey, here's the call. I'm just like, all right. I line up in the slot because I'm safety. I play man. Boom. Completed pass. Slade, what the are you doing? It's zone. And I'm just like, I am just like shaking at this point.
Yeah.
I don't know what I'm doing because I don't know what I'm doing, but it's like, am I supposed to know what I'm doing? Like, is there... Like,
are you holding accountable because I just drew to fucking defense and I've never played defense before?
Right, and I'm not saying it's just yelling at me. Hat comes flying. He is pacing. Like, yelling, pacing, hat thrown on the ground, that's new when you're screwed.
Worst combo.
And, he gets up on me, he's telling me, and I can't remember exactly what he said to me in front of my face, but the one thing I always learned, and I eventually learned with Coach Saban, is you don't take how the message is being presented to you, you take what the message is. He may yell at you, cuss at you, but you got to tune out the way he's explaining to you. If he's yelling, okay, like he's yelling at you, but you got to hear what he's saying, not how he's saying it.
Right.
And that was one thing that I learned eventually, and a lot of us learned, that's just how he coached. It made you learn fast. So, yeah, I learned fast as shit. Eventually, by the end of that semester, I had a pretty good idea how our defense was ran. And shout out to my boy Mac Jones. I picked that boy's ass off a couple times in the spring game, and I let him know every time. But anyways, it was easy. So that was my claim to fame at safety. But I was also number 29, so everybody called me Baby Minka, but it's no big deal. Whatever. Anyways.
No one called
You guys look like brothers.
No.
Yeah, I mean, yeah. It was like, oh my God, did Minka come back for a 5th year? But
No
it was
one
really
called
me,
that.
so whatever. Anyways.
But Slade, on the, I loved hearing you because we've never talked about we played and then everything like that. We had a good relationship at Bama and after Bama and stuff like that. But we never really got in depth in the wide receiver position. But hearing you talk about it is really cool because you were more athletically gifted than I was, and it's like the same thinking you had of like, hey, I have to take this and I have to make this better. It is a science, and it's like if we played at other schools. For me, could have probably played at some FCS school, probably gotten more playing time, stuff like that. For you, it's like another Power 5, whatever, where there wasn't as much depth. But you took and learned, and you were the best receiver you could possibly be. And I would say the same exact thing that we resonate on that point. But it was fun seeing you because you played quarterback, you played DB, and then seeing you at wide receiver. To be honest, like when you first running routes, I was like this guy, like I can compete with this guy. You know what I'm saying? Because your routes were not like crazy crisp, and you didn't the wide receiver position.
I didn't play it.
You didn't play it.
I didn't know.
But over time, within a short amount of time, you went from being someone who was I thought you were a freak athlete, which I still think you are. I think you're a great athlete. I think you don't credit yourself enough on that. Is like as a white guy athlete, like you're a dog.
Well, I mean, I felt like
Rarest breed there is.
I must have been decent enough to start at Alabama.
Yeah, but I'm saying like you were a dog receiver, and I think like it was just fun because I got to see you go from where you're running routes and you were a good receiver to in a very short amount of time you went to an elite receiver, which was awesome.
I appreciate you saying elite. I wouldn't put myself in that category, but
You started at Alabama, pal.
but I appreciate that. But for me as a player, like I became the best version of what I
yourself.
was,
You
which
could be
was elite.
Yeah.
Me being the best I possibly could, every route, every play, that was pretty damn good.
Right.
And obviously, like, it is so funny. It's like, come out of high school, people thought I was crazy going to Bama. Like, literally. Like,
Yeah, brush on that. You're a Louisiana man who
Yeah.
ended up at Alabama. How'd that happen?
Well,
Yeah, have some of that Hennessy real quick.
yeah, shout out to Hennessy.
No, fuck that. No free shout outs. But it is
no-
but
no
it is
shout out, no free shout
but it is delicious.
It is.
Max fucking out of hand.
It-
Can we just point that out real quick?
It quenches the thirst.
eating the cats, they're eating the dog.
So, yes. You're an idiot. I love it.
How'd you end up at Alabama?
So, I will try not to be too long-winded with, obviously, growing up in Louisiana, you don't have a choice. You're an LSU fan, you're a Saints fan. I want to be a Tiger my whole life. Like, that's just what it is. Now, honestly, like, I was a dual sport athlete. If Alabama baseball would have offered me, LSU baseball would have offered me before the football scholarship came, I promise you I would have probably played
Baseball
for
at
LSU.
LSU.
Yeah, Alex Box Stadium, come on.
Yeah.
And they were winning all the time. I mean, that was huge.
Yeah.
But I still wanted to play in Death Valley.
Yeah.
So I go down there, and then I promise you it wouldn't have took a lot for them to get me. Coach O was great. He recruited me well. I love Coach O, but the offense, lock in over there. The offensive coordinator at the time was Matt Canada. And when you shake someone's hand and they don't know who you are?
I hate that.
It's the worst, right? It's the worst feeling.
I see it as a sign of disrespect. If I
Yes,
should know who they are. If they should
100%.
know who I am.
Like you said, I was a Louisiana Gatorade Player of the Year. You would think the offense coordinator for the biggest school in that state would know the best player essentially in that state.
He doesn't have to suck you off necessarily, but
No,
there
and
could be a firm handshake with maybe a little shoulder tap.
Yes, that's it.
of
A
those.
little smack on the ass. Like we're good. Like that's all I need. I don't need much. And
Hey, nice to finally meet you, Slade.
Yeah,
One of those.
Didn't even say my name. Didn't even
crazy.
shook my hand. Was like,
Felt like a cold
man?
fish, huh? Cold
it was
fish.
bad. Never texted me, never called me, tweeted, DM'd, anything. And I was never the guy that was like, oh, I need all this love. Thanks for showing all this. I didn't care about that. I just want to know how I fit in your offense and that you at least were giving me an opportunity to play.
Yeah.
Didn't get any of that. So I didn't feel at home.
Damn.
And then Nikki called and they rolled out that red carpet from Tuscaloosa, Western Louisiana, and I strutted that thing all the way down there. And it was completely opposite. And yes, they do a hell of a job recruiting. There's so many tangibles of why Bama was as successful as what it was and still is because that was one thing, how they recruited. And also Brian Dable showing me kind of where I'd fit in that offense. So that's why. I mean, that's plain and simple. And it sucked. Like, it really did. Like, at first, being a kid from Louisiana, that was like the dream school to go to.
Yeah.
But as soon as I came to Bama, when I got back and we were staying at the capstone, me and my family, when I got back to the hotel room after spending a day touring the campus, touring the facilities, meeting with coaches, and I actually participated in because I had an offer, but you gotta go prove that thing. You gotta earn that scholarship or that offer, and I performed well. Actually ran a good 40, surprisingly. So I earned my scholarship. But when we left that, and I got back with my family in the hotel room, we were like looking around, like,
We're fucking roll tide, baby.
like, yeah, like, where are the papers? I'm ready to sign today.
Yeah.
And that's just how it was. Like, we were just blown away. And I was like, at that point, I was like, I don't want to go anywhere else. And also, like, if I want to be the best possible player and person I can be, I need to get coached by the best, play with the best, and compete with the best. And where's that place at the time that was at?
The Undisputed.
University of Alabama.
Undisputed.
100%, because every day you're going against the best.
Yep.
And every day you're competing with the best, and you're getting coached by the best. So why wouldn't I? And, it's a pretty fun school, too.
I like that outfit you got on there today.
I appreciate it.
Hey.
Shout out to my dog, Alabama Vintage,
No free
Charlie.
shout-outs.
No free shout-outs, but shout out.
Hey, that's my dog too.
Yeah, this
Okay.
made. It looked like you got off your grandmother's couch.
Yeah.
But
I think my
love
dog
it.
peed on a rug like that recently.
Probably, yeah. No, it's definitely different, and we're thinking about possibly trying to market it, in a way. But it's
Well, it's getting marketed right.
I might need a juice box version. of that, man.
you got yes,
set it up.
Yeah, dude,
Like
we'll
get your piss hot on the sleeve.
yes, dude, we will dial that up.
Slade might not be able to pull that off, but I can talk to Charlie. And
You
get
know
it
a guy?
Figured out. I know Charlie, and I can get it figured out.
No,
Okay?
you don't know. You gotta get licensed. It's a whole deal. You gotta. There's so many obstacles.
You don't have to. He owns the brand, pal.
all kinds
I gotta
of
say,
licenses.
time
Well,
out. I
it's
gotta
the
stop saying
Alabama-
pal. It's so messed
it's
up.
the Alabama-
Nicely got me on that.
It's the fucking glasses. You're feeling some type of way right now. Mixing
Yeah.
the hen dog. Also,
Boy,
you're
look
a
at
little dry right
little
there.
Stevie Wonder over here.
Yeah. Get right, amigo.
He can't see because all that hen.
Slade, I do want to say too. I reiterate that point. We agree on a lot, being in the obviously white guy wide receivers.
Yeah.
But the point that I always make,
Dying breed or
and I
rare
wanna
breed.
reiterate, is that for real, it's how it is. You have in a day and age where you have all this NIL stuff. You have just money and money and money and just like waterfalls of money. Just it's freaking money guns everywhere, all that kind of stuff. Whatever. You have all that going on. No one, I don't think people are thinking about it as much, but like my goal coming out of high school was the same thing as you're talking about. Where can you be the best actual wide receiver you want to be? And Alabama is the place. So it's not where you're going to play the most. It might not be where you're going to play the most. It might not be where you're going to get the like this or that, but like it's where you're going to become the best wide receiver possible.
100%.
No, I see, and like Slade, just so you know, like, so one thing me and Mac kind of talked about is we had similarities within our times, and like my version of Alabama was Fresno
top me
State.
off
As
there.
crazy as that sounds, right?
Fault.
I grew up here. My dad had a stint here. We knew we wanted to play here.
Of course.
But when I was getting recruited, it was Devontae Adams' time here.
Yeah.
So
Good player.
so like my time getting recruited here, I'll never forget. I had I was a big I had a good highlight tape, but I was a big go to the camp and impress people type shit.
Yeah.
And it starts off with, you know how it is at those college camps, like you start off, everybody's together.
Yeah.
And then about halfway through, they put, hey, some guys go to that field, some
Yeah.
guys go to this field.
Group A, Group B,
Right,
tier
right.
1, tier 2.
And
yeah.
you go to one camp and you realize, all right, the motherfuckers that are interested on this field, the dudes who paid
know-
$40 for a T-shirt are over here.
You know
right?
exactly who's on
You know who
which
the fuck,
group.
you know who you're talking to. And I remember at the Fresno State camp, there was be like 400, 500, 600 kids. It was fucking huge. They did a combine. And if you won one of the events, you got to meet the coaches after. And I had broke my hand in May and the camp was in June. So I had an American flag cast on my fucking hand, which ended up being one of the best things for me as a wideout because I was catching balls all leading up to that with the cast on.
Yeah.
So they were like,
You're used to it.
but also
You're sticking out like sore thumb in 2 different ways. You
you're a white
as hell,
boy and you
got
go,
American
hey,
flag.
we like that kid with the cast on, right?
Shit.
So,
Cast boy.
And I'm catching I pulled some shit out of my ass that day at the Fresno State camp. I'm the fuck. So I ran the best shuttle time. Big shuttle guy.
Love it. Oh, me too.
Big shuttle.
What do you get?
Best ever?
Yeah.
It's not laser.
Under 4?
Yeah.
Damn it.
396.
Let's go, baby. I was a 4 flat.
I'm a
Get shit
shuttle
on,
guy.
pal.
Yeah.
Get shit on.
But hey,
I'm a
that's
shuttle
all we had.
I'm a fuck. Dude,
I will never. repeat
I
my
will.
shuttle.
I will run fade against anybody on a shuttle. Not right now, but at one
Yeah.
point in my life. Anyways, what I'm getting at is, I went up to the wide receiver coach at Fresno State after this great camp. I was able to be in the coach's circle and talk to these dudes, and they came up to me. They're like, "Yeah, we've seen your stuff. You're a real good player. You're just really not our fit. You know, we got a couple draftable receivers this year. I'm sure you'll get an opportunity somewhere else, but thanks, but no thanks. Just want to let you know." And I'm talking about just like, and this is before my senior season of high school.
Hate to hear it.
Just fucking crushed,
Got it
right?
through the heart. Yep.
Now, 9 months later, the same motherfucker is my wide receiver coach at Fresno State.
Which is crazy, right? How
Because
quick that shit changed.
you have a good senior year, they're looking at numbers, and really
Have an
like,
opportunity for you now.
no, yeah, DeRuiter, I mean, our head coach was just like I had a great fucking year, and they're like, hey, we don't have scholarships, but we could offer you a preferred walk-on with these benefits, like pay for your books, pay for your meals, do this shit, and like
Which is better than
it
most people
and it gives
get.
you an opportunity. It was, and
Actually, at that time, now it's
and granted, like let's read the room. Like I'm barely 5'8". I played my senior year. I said I was like 155. I was like 140, bro. My first day at
moving, though.
Fresno
You're
State,
moving, though.
sliding. Highlight tape goes crazy. But at the same time, like the biggest worry they're saying is, we don't know if you could handle the blows. And I'm like, I can handle the fucking
Yeah.
blows, man. I'm used to handling the fucking
Yeah.
blows. Like, don't worry about the blows.
I would have stopped playing years ago.
That's what I'm saying. I'll get smacked and you pop back up. And blocking, as you know, like you get the right leverage on a motherfucker. That's all you got to do to block somebody.
100%.
You don't need to be some bruiser. It's all about pad level and finding the right hand placement and angles.
Using your leverage,
Angles.
having a good base, running your feet.
That's all it is.
All the tangents.
Fucking white boy wide receivers,
Yeah.
technicalities.
Yeah,
baby.
oh yeah.
But
Run your feet.
like to go through that process of being told no, it's very fucking difficult, man. Like,
is.
like especially, and we're talking now is like sipping some Henny, had some good times playing on the gridiron. Like, but when you're 17, that shit's your fucking world, man. And like all you want to do is ball. And everyone has their dream school, their opportunity school, and it's like, dude, it fucks with your head. And I think one thing we don't talk about with the athlete side of things is the mental side of the game.
100%.
Slade, what's something where you like had your mind calloused? Like, what's a scenario where you really were in a dark place and you had adversity strike and you had to really fucking lock the fuck in? Like,
Well,
how and why did you bounce back?
dude, Frank, it's crazy you're asking this because I was thinking about like talking about this on your podcast today.
Let's do it.
Because, you know, and like it's my life, it's my story, it is what it is, and I believe it happened to me, happened for me, not to me, and I believe it happened because maybe I can help somebody that's going through similar or might go through a similar situation.
Yeah.
And it's funny that you even asked a question, and I was like, hey, like I was going to ask you before, like, man, what do you think if I like kind of talked about my upbringing?
Yeah.
So when you talk about facing adversity, I faced adversity at a very young age. You know, my parents were both addicts. A lot of my family members were addicts. You know, my parents divorced when I was 4. You know, kind of saw some things and was in situations that a kid shouldn't be in. And luckily, and I'm very fortunate because I would not be here today if it wasn't for my grandparents stepping in and raising me since I was 8 years old. And, you know, didn't have a lot growing up. You know, like I was joking with you earlier, we're, you know, Pierce and Mac talking about me wearing a wife beaters. Like, I'm from Trailer Park Section 8 from Louisiana. Like, that's just how I was. And, like, I grew up in a lot of different cultures and situations. And that also helped me in the long run because I can relate to anybody, anywhere, in any room. And also, you go through that adversity, and I knew how to not live a certain way in life. And, you know, I don't have any remorse against my parents or anything, but it's just, that's what happened. It is what it is. Everybody makes mistakes. I've made plenty of mistakes. And, you know, I've grew up in that situation. So I faced adversity at an early age. I had to grow up quickly. And when I got to high school, started getting recruiting, you know, the stereotypical, hey, you're not going to play at Bama. Like, I have some dude that doesn't even deserve any recognition, but it's like, hey, you're not even going to get a set of pads at Bama, which is crazy to say because obviously if you're on the team, you get a set of pads. I mean, that makes no sense. But anyways, so it was always like, you're never going to play. You're not going to, you know, you're never going to touch the field. Like, why are you should go to TCU. You should go to Louisiana Tech, whatever other school I was considering. And for me, it was never oh, I'm gonna prove you wrong. I'm gonna prove you wrong. Like, F you. Like, I watched this. It was like, no. I know I can do this. I'm gonna prove myself right.
Right.
And that's what I tell, young guys that, have asked me for advice in the past. Like, look, I don't know how much advice I can give you, but I will tell you this: bet on yourself at the end of the day. Yeah. Don't go looking to try to prove people wrong, because at the end of the day, it doesn't matter what people think of you. And at one time I did think that mattered. So, yeah, there was times where, as a kid growing up, I've had to face a lot of adversity, saw a lot of things I shouldn't have saw, grew up tough. I grew up quick. But, like, in this athletic world, coming in early, it didn't look like the grass was going to be green. There wasn't a lot of light at the end of that tunnel because of the room I was in, the guys I was with,
right,
and just me not being a sound receiver coming in. Like, I was just a football player.
Mm-hmm.
Looking back, were there things like maybe I should have gone and played running back? Because I was really good at having the ball behind the line of scrimmage. Like, I had really great vision. I could make moves, whatever. But at times it was tough, and you get moved to a different position your first semester. But my thing was just like, I know this is going to work out at some point. I don't know when that's going to happen, but best believe I'm going to do whatever the hell it takes to get to that point. And I couldn't tell you the countless hours that I spent by myself on that field, in that gym, from when I was even in high school. I may not even been doing the right thing, or that was actually, helping me. But I was doing shit that no one else was doing at times that they were going to do it. So I continued to have that work ethic, and that probably was some values that my grandparents instilled in me. I just grinded because I was like, look, I come from nothing. Like, I gotta go get it, and that's the only way I knew how to, because I wasn't the fastest, I wasn't the most athletic. So how am I going to separate myself from everybody else?
Have to learn.
Yeah, and I was constantly just grinding, working on my craft, watching film, just being the best I could be outside of just my ability. Luckily, God blessed me with a great ability. Like, I was fortunate to have a good, athletic ability, because, that's the start. Like, I wouldn't even got close to getting any scholarships if I didn't have that.
No, you could do a lot of intangible shit, but you gotta have some dog in you.
Yeah, you have to, and that's why I tell guys all the time. It's like, how bad do you want this shit? If you don't want it, or if you're not willing to put in the work, and I know this is kind of cliche. It's what everybody says. Like, you gotta want it. You gotta. You're. God, what's his name? Who's going to carry the boats?
Goggins?
Yeah, like your Goggins type shit. Like, you got to want it. Like, a lot of that shit's cliche, but it's like, it's true.
No, it's the truest thing in the world.
You got to do all the little things. Like, I played with some guys that had all the ability in the world, but they just showed up when there was team mandatory things, and they may have worked hard during practice or during the weight, off-season training, fourth quarter, in the weight room, but that was it.
Yeah.
Like, nah, bro, that ain't gonna do it. You gotta, hours. Like, I don't even know. Like, they say, like, 10,000 hours you become a perfectionist at whatever craft. I think I passed that bitch because I had to. Nights when it was dark, when it was early in the morning, and I know Mac has called for our other Mac, Jones, at times when he would ask, hey, like, I need somebody to throw, and Mac was always available. But there was the times where, like, it didn't matter if it was 6 a.m., 12 a.m., whatever. You need somebody to catch, I'm there.
Yeah.
I remember it was funny. It's like during COVID, and I think we can start talking about some fun stuff.
Yeah, let's get into it.
During COVID, of the summer of COVID, I know Pierce kind of hit a lot of, like, what we went through, and it was wild. It was different. But when I was home, when they sent us all home, I got in the best shape of my life because I was grinding. I was at the house. Like, we had like a Smith machine, a couple dumbbells. My pops brought a couple, free weights. I'm working out the house because the high schools and all the facilities that I would go to when I was home in May during that summer break,
right?
Everything was closed.
Yeah.
And I'd go find a field to run, do my, like, conditioning and, training and stuff. But I was at the house. I didn't leave. I wouldn't go in the bar. I was eating clean. I mean, I was like, damn, I got abs?
Yeah.
Shit. Like, where'd that come from? And I was like, okay. And then, so when I got back to Bama, I was in great shape. Right. I was ready to roll. And it's so funny. It's like every Sunday, me and Matt, because, like, there were certain times where you couldn't get back in the facility. it was only times when the team. So it was kind of tough to do what I normally would do, and that would be working out. When no one was in there, you couldn't even do that. The only time the facility was open was when it was team affiliated things, right? Or team facilitated.
Gotta go throw routes to the fucking street, Mac.
No, damn near. So we would go. So it was Mac Jones, not Hereford.
Oh, I know.
Yeah.
Not this fucking guy.
Every Sunday during. Yeah, he ain't throwing shit.
I was catching.
But he was gone. He probably would have been there if you'd have been there. Right,
I would have been there.
But it's funny. It's like we go out on a Saturday night, and so your boy's hurting coming on Sunday.
Yeah.
But Mac's like, hey, let's get this work. Let's go.
Good.
So we would go.
It's college
and I'm
football,
glad we did. Yeah.
It's college football, baby.
Bama. Oh, come on now. Let's go.
Come on now.
Sweating them demons out. So we go to the practice.
Yes.
We go to
Yes.
we go to the recreational field, like grass. Like it wasn't really that bad, but no lines, no numbers. Hey,
to the fucking park.
But when you run reps after reps, it becomes like a second nature. It's in your brain. So I don't even fucking need that. I am
1, 2, 3. Bah.
yes. Oh, 6 step, boom.
Got it.
7 step, boom. Okay.
Yep. Downhill.
Now
boom.
this route might be 15 yards. I've done it so many times. I can feel when I get to 15 yards. Yeah. And it's crazy to think about that. That's the science we're talking about. So every Sunday we would go throw at the rec field, and we had countless reps. Me and Mac, and even before that, we were throwing when we were on scout team together my freshman year, and sophomore year we were throwing outside of practice. So we built such a great chemistry. But also it helped because I went out there and I sweated everything. I was ready to go Monday. I was like, let's go. And that was, I swear, I think my group was 12 p.m. every week. That was my group.
12 p.m.?
My workout group during COVID summer.
It's noon, in case you didn't know.
Yeah. Hot as it can be. Yeah. Humid as it can be. And like Pierce said, that mask thing.
Man, fuck that mask.
Brutal. Absolutely brutal in that heat. But that's what made us better. I somehow, some way, that COVID year was the best time I've ever had, and this is why it was so much more fun. So, in the summer, the bars were like half capacity, quote unquote. Right now, we got away with some things. So we'd pull up to the bar, and we probably shouldn't have got to know the people that work them as well as we did. But we were always respectful.
Of course.
And I always treated them like they would treat me, all respect. And, eventually became friends. So there'd be a fat line during COVID because they're like half capacity already. So they're 1 in, 1 out. So I'm looking at that line. I'm like, yeah, I'm not waiting.
No.
So I hit up one of my boys. And next thing you know, I'm coming to the back door.
Yeah.
And hey, it's your boy. Let me in. So what was so cool is even though it was half capacity, no one went home. Like everyone that went to school at Bama, New York, Jersey, Florida. I don't know how Florida's rules were. Cali, the states that damn near shut down. Right. They're like, I'm staying in Tuscaloosa. So more people were there that summer than they've ever been because summer's usually pretty dead. Like we would have fun, but it was we're kind of just hanging out with ourselves, and we would hang out with the other
teams.
Yes, it's because that's all like soccer team, volleyball. That's all who was there.
Good vibes.
Yeah, no, it was. I've made great friends with our other teams. Anyways, before I get off topic, it was so much fun that year, because it's just. It was like the unknown, it's like, we may not even play. Let's just have some fun. We had a great time. And I heard stories when I early enrolled, they just won the Natty, right? And you'd have thought I won one too. I was right.
Did you get a ring?
No, I don't know.
You had scout team for 3 weeks and you didn't get a ring? 3
days. It was the week of the Natty.
Earn not given, baby.
Exactly. So
I'm going to count it.
But hey, I was there when there was.
You got to live out the joy.
But I wouldn't. You know what I mean? It was different because
no, it's weird. It's weird. Yeah.
I was, obviously some pretty girl comes up and he's like, "Hey, you play football?" I was like, "Yeah,
just won the Natty."
Yeah, it's no big deal. I promise. It's really not. But obviously in myself, I'm like, it's cool. Obviously the campus was the vibes were great. Everybody was having a great time. We just won a natty, like obviously, but it wasn't like, okay, I won it.
Yeah, you didn't put that sweat equity into where it's like, okay, this shit, I'm really gonna blow up right now and go get a couple of handles of Henny and take it to the dome,
right?
Because we just won the fucking natty. Those weren't the vibes yet. It was more like, I'm gonna crack a beer.
Yeah, it was fun.
Not handle a Henny. I was gonna crack a beer.
It was really cool. Like everybody was having a good time, but it's just like wasn't the same. And I'll tell you what happened. So obviously, unfortunately, the way I started was Waddle got hurt. I was like the number 4 guy, but bro, they didn't rotate nobody. I don't know what Saves was on, but those guys are workhorses. They didn't rotate anybody.
Yeah.
Waddle's our kick returner, gets hurt in the first play against Tennessee. Boom, I'm in there. Like, you talking about get thrown in that fucking fire?
Yeah.
Yeah, my ass was lit up. First play. Spot route. I'm seeing this.
Tunnel fucking vision.
First down, though. But I didn't, so I'm so glad, like.
Pop up.
Not
another
because,
one. Again.
Yeah, 100%. Not because of Waddle getting hurt. Like, that's not the way I wanted to start. But,
no.
But starting like that, like not having to think about it, was the best way to start a game.
Right.
Almost went for 100. You know what I mean? Like, it was a really good game.
Let him fucking know, Slade.
Man, 96 for 6. What's up? I was like, hell yeah. Like, I might have a crazy year. And then Devontae Smith, Heisman winner, kind of happened, and your boy wasn't getting the ball much, which I get it. I'm Mac. I'm throwing the ball to Devontae Smith. No shame. But I kind of felt like I was taken out of the game plan.
Right.
Because that Tennessee game, the game plan was you can't change it after the first play. Like
no. It's next man up.
It was for expecting Waddle to be in the game plan.
Right.
So that's why I ate, of course, because he was going to eat. Now, could he probably went for over 100? Maybe.
Yeah.
Whatever. He's pretty fast. But
yeah.
So I was at that point. I was just happy to be starting. I was happy to be playing. I had like, okay, look, I finally hit one of my first goals. That wasn't all the goals I wanted to hit. Trust me.
Right.
Now, fast forward to the national championship.
Hang on, I got a note right here. First college CD was in Natty when y'all beat Ohio State. ? How hype were you?
You couldn't tell me shit.
I'm saying
I was on top. Of Mount
but I want
Everest.
to rebuild this for clip purposes.
Yep.
You mentioned your upbringing. Mm-hmm. You mentioned your journey of LSU disrespecting you. Biting my lip right now. Disrespecting you as the Louisiana Gatorade Player of the Year. Nick Saban saying, yo, we got a spot for you over here. You went and practiced as a fucking high schooler to prep these boys for the Natty. It did make a difference.
Thank you.
You got to get pushed to defense. Never did that before.
Nope.
Now you're back on offense.
Take it on chin.
Next man up mentality. Oh, it's Natty time. Somebody needs to make a play. Fire me the fuck up.
Let's go.
Slade.
Come on.
Feed 1-8, motherfucker. Fuck Ohio State.
I fucking love that.
First college teeter. So you catch that pill.
And look,
Just tell me.
I
the
don't.
fire out of your ass.
Man, like, and I don't want to take anything away from this. It was a bubble route. So it wasn't the coolest thing. But getting in that paint in Miami, Florida.
Yeah.
And
Natty.
and essentially sealing that fucking win for us. Because we were up 20-ish, 21, put us up 28.
It was the nail. It was the nail in the coffin.
100%. Having one of my best friends throw me the ball.
Mac.
And,
Jones, not you.
And I think...
You're a piece of shit.
Yeah, fuck you. Anyways.
Just kidding.
Him coming, like, I think, yeah, like, scoring's great. It's all, whatever. That's cool. But him, like, coming to the end zone and, like, and the rest of my teammates celebrate with me, that was the special moment.
Emotional.
I mean, I remember, so I dove into the end zone, and I know, like, dude, Smitty was balling. He scored so many more touchdowns than me. Mechie scored so many touchdowns than me. Like, I scored one that year. But for me, as a guy that had to come from where I came from and had to bust my ass to even touch that grass, I turn, like, when I dive, I get up, and I'm like, you better put your damn hands up. He does it, and I mean, I give the whitest celebration ever. Just fucking flick the ball, and then shout out to the hood, throw up the boot.
Oh.
Throw up the area code, and then my boy comes and jumps, and like I don't think I've seen Mac happier than when he damn near tackled me in the end zone.
Yeah, but bro, it's those COVID Sundays when we're sweating out the booze at the fucking spot that's not even a football field. Like when you get to see all that come into fruition in the Natty, especially, it's like bro, you can't. It just means more. It's what makes the game beautiful. It's what makes it like. But we just watched the World Series, right? Baseball's great.
Right.
Sick, bro. It ain't fucking football, bro.
No, it ain't.
It ain't fucking football, bro. Like, people don't know the stories. People don't know the sweat. Like, we talked about routes for like 7 minutes just now. Like, people don't realize, like, when you grow up and you see a card, it says 5 yards and slant in. When you're at the highest level, like, you don't realize, like, okay, if a guy's pressing you, if a guy's playing 3 yards off, inside shade, outside shade, 5 yards off, where are the safeties? Where are the fucking linebacker? Is the defensive fucking lineman about to drop and do some weird ass goofy shit?
Yeah.
Like, the amount of attention to detail that goes into this game and the repetition of fucking it up,
Preparation, too.
getting motherfucked by Nick Saban, trying to figure out like all your shit, bro. And then I want to give a quick shout out to the Netflix documentary Receiver. Did you guys watch that by chance?
Yeah, it was good.
You're fucking like Netflix weirdo star, and you don't watch
You know,
fucking
like,
the
everybody
Netflix
knows
shit?
it.
Netflix weirdo star. Time out. Where is this
No,
coming
Mac,
from?
we're not. Wait. I'm staying on topic.
Before you derail
Wait.
this, can I say a point from Slade's perspective?
No.
Slade, I don't know if you've heard this. When you scored that natty, it's fun hearing your perspective of it on the field because I was up in a box. It was me, Savion.
Of course.
Yeah, one day.
I believe.
Yeah.
There was like Reggie Ragland. It was a Xavier McKinney. When you scored that touchdown, I'm just putting these names because
Can I just drink my Henny in peace?
When you scored that touchdown, everyone in that box went friggin' crazy.
I love it.
Everyone, real deal. Like every touchdown, people were hyped. But like, especially, did you even play with Savion?
Yeah.
Okay.
freshman.
Yeah. Okay. Freshman year. Because so Savion Smith was like Slade.
Yeah.
He was like in the box.
That's my dog,
Tony
man.
Brown was in there. Everyone is going nuts. It's like we won the goddamn Super Bowl when this guy scored.
Well,
you know?
and I appreciate that, and I'll kind of tell you why I believe, and it's because of who I am. I just, like I said, like I can relate to anybody, and I love people, like, and I'm obviously
I
love
get
my
it.
teammates, like, but at the end of the day, like I think Pierce hit on this. You're not always friends with every single teammate,
No.
but I was like, I don't know, just something like I love people, I love building new relationships, and obviously it's my teammates, like but like I was, a lot of those guys, I was like a scrub freshman that, some white kid from Louisiana, like, but just how I talked, how I related to people, how I was able
Right.
to.
Locker room
I feel like I
vibes.
always-
Locker room
I always
vibes.
just, I feel like, I don't know, and I probably did some goofy ass shit that they thought was funny, and they love me ever since.
You were
you know?
one goofy ass.
So that was, I always felt like, I always fit in any locker room.
Yeah.
And, the locker room guy, you know what I mean?
Hey, bro, I'm a big
Yeah.
glue guy.
Huge
glue guy.
yeah.
Huge glue guy.
So-
hey, bro, Hennessy brings people together.
It does. It really does. And
dog.
anyway, so man, it was an awesome moment. Then we go back to Tuscaloosa. Now, did we party in Miami? Of course, but it was still COVID, so it was not as lit.
And you had your mask on and everything like that. Yeah.
No, the mask.
Hey, you win a natty?
That's
fuck,
it.
fuck that mask.
Season's over. See ya. That bitch is gone. I got also speak real quick. Side note: I got COVID at the best spot. I got COVID second week of training camp, so I missed 2 weeks of training camp.
Wait, fall camp?
Fall camp. Sorry.
No. I get it. You're a league dude.
Yeah,
You're a
well,
league dude.
yeah,
You're a
I'm
league
the
dude.
guy.
You're a league guy. We'll get into that next. But
But like, this I don't know. This kind of maybe I should say this, but fall camp sucks, and especially at Bama.
No
so
shit.
Missing 2 weeks of that, and then not, and I was just like the number 2 slot. I didn't lose my spot. I didn't gain a spot, but I
it's kind of lit.
I didn't mind missing a couple
After the
weeks.
fact,
of
we can
training
voice it on a
camp.
podcast. It's kind of lit.
Yeah, it was.
I disagree with you guys there, though. Fall camp was my favorite time of the whole entire year.
Shut
so,
your mouth.
but
Shut
I
your
just
ass
want to say
up.
that. Shout out Hennessy.
I just this motherfucker. I wanted to just say one thing about the Netflix documentary Receiver about, and I'm talking to some whiteouts in the room here, but like one thing people don't understand about the concept, and I've brought this up on the pod a few times now, but just getting more to the exclusive situation of where you scored your first heater in the Natty.
Yeah.
Randy Moss at the start of the Netflix documentary Receiver talks about this. Randy Moss, one of the best to ever do it, right? To play wide receiver, a few things need to happen. All right. To be successful, you need to be on the team. You need to be in a position where you're high enough on a depth chart to be in the game. They need to call a play where you have the ability to get thrown the ball. So a pass play, right? The O-line needs to successfully snap the ball and block, okay? The quarterback needs to catch that snap and have the ability to throw. The wide receiver then needs to get open, be out of one of the 3 to 5 options, be one of those guys who gets thrown the ball, and then you need to catch that motherfucker. That's like, how many, what was that, 8 steps, 9 steps?
Yeah.
You're fucking,
Man,
you know how much shit you know how much shit has to go right for you to get the pill as a wide receiver? And I know we see certain dudes who are getting 10 catches a game, 15 targets a game. Like, I see that now, and especially coming from a household of receivers where I'm the oldest brother. Me and both my little brothers, we all fucking play wide receiver at the same college. And my middle brother, Mac, is balling. Thank you. We're proud of it. But I'm saying is, like, we know this shit, and we're and Slade, like, it's so cool talking to you, and like me and Mac hit it off because it's like, bro, I really understand this shit. Like, it is hard, and attention to detail does matter. And sometimes in the depth chart, at least at a place like Fresno State, like, yes, you got to be better and all that. But if you're a guy who's guy A, and I'm Frank Dalena, and there's guy B who's just as good as me or better than me, I know I'm going to out-grit them. I know that I'm going to show up on time every day. I know I'm going to get extra work in every day. I know I'm 100% on my assignment. I'm not, oh, you had 4 MAs. Nah, bro, fuck you. There's no loafs on my fucking timesheet. I'm playing all 4 special teams. I'm holding. My fucking Mac, freshman year during COVID, that motherfucker kicked field goals.
Agent Zero.
Kick field goals. Do you think I said help his draft stock? You think I'm not pushing the fuck into that? I'll bring the juice right now? Keep this shit, Jake. But what I'm saying is, I know how hard it is to get in the position where you're even traveling, where you're even getting dressed, where you even become relevant to have a couple packages here and there. To them to call your packages, for you to fucking get in the game in the right situation, and then all that shit happens where the quarterback throws you the ball and you catch it and you're successful. So for you to go through all that fucking bullshit and to score that teeter in that natty, I just think that's God watching over you.
No, 100%. Well, that's all it is. I mean, that's
not to be long-winded.
At the end of the day, that's exactly what it is. And real quick though, technically, wasn't my first touchdown.
Oh,
I threw a pass. My sophomore year to Miller Forstall against Tennessee in the red zone.
Wow,
that was my first official touchdown. Wow, because my sophomore year, I ran Wildcat. So that was like my first
Wildcat guy.
You talking about, because you mentioned packages, like your boy was like 3rd and 1, 4th and 1,
locked in.
Please call it.
What was it called?
Oh shit,
Slim Shady special.
Slade Cat, I think. That's exactly what it was, wasn't it? Slade Cat, of course.
Yeah.
But it was. But like we ran it enough times, and we had a play. It was basically like I had Ruggs come in motion. I like faked the sweep to him and I acted as if I was about to dive.
Skirt.
Tebow shit.
I was gonna say pop pass.
Yep. And that was lit. So I want to get into this because I think this is what's crazy about playing at the playing at the University of Alabama.
That hen dog thick, baby. That hen dog like Aunt Jemima syrup right there, baby.
I'm a little smash. I'm a little smash. What's that?
Is it dark outside?
What's that? Shit. God,
I know, it's crazy.
The
I
rapper.
feel like I'm in a casino.
Young Ma, I'm a little smash.
I don't know that rapper, Slade. You know me. I'm from Birmingham. Okay.
Yeah, it's Young Ma. Come on now. Anyways, so obviously a lot of shit changed for me outside of football when I started.
Right.
I'm a white guy. This is what I want to hit on. So my real claim to fame playing at the University of Alabama, shout out to my boy Garrett Dieter, shout out to my boy Richard Milani, but they both transferred in. I'm probably the first white receiver on scholarship to come in on scholarship, not transfer in, not anything, and play all 4 years and not leave and start probably in the past 20 years. So I like saying that's my real claim to fame.
Yeah, I like that.
Dieter came in from Bowling Green, Richard Milani, I think Oregon State.
I think they both came from the same spot. Dieter came from...
Milani was first.
Oh,
yeah, Milani was first. And
Dieter
then
me
came
chirp on
from,
Twitter all the time.
What's it called? I love Dieter.
Yeah, he's
big Yankees guy right now.
Huge Yankees guy. No, I think both of them came from similar spots because I think Milani came first and Milani...
They didn't both come from Bowling Green, though.
I know Dieter did. Dieter for sure.
I'm like 100% positive Melanie was Oregon.
Both of those guys, dogs, by the way.
Yeah, but that was always my claim to fame. I was the first white guy in like 20 years to actually come to Bama on a scholarship and eventually start.
Can we talk about the white guy thing real quick? I want to point out to our viewers real quick. Listen, as a wide receiver, it's just a rare breed. I got married recently. Most of my groomsmen were black guys.
Yeah.
I love them. I work on a farm every day. They're from Mexico, bro. Yeah. One of my favorite foods, Chinese. Like, I'm cultured, bro.
Yeah.
Cultured.
It has nothing to do with it.
But when you talk to other white wide receivers, it's just a rare breed, so it's unique. I honestly, like, and it's natural, too. Like, I don't know who your guy was when you were, like, trying to mimic his game, but
take a wild guess.
Julian Edelman was my guy.
100%.
Oh, my guy, man.
And shout out
Cole Beasley. Look at the fucking wall right now.
Beasley, Edelman, Amendola.
Welker. Amendola.
Slade, I won't ever forget this. Slade wore an Edelman jersey one time, and Edelman shared it on his Instagram.
Yeah.
Huge.
Yeah, we had like a couple little quick conversations.
Dude.
And I've had some cool moments, and, I could circle back to, after we won the Natty.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm telling you, you're going to want to hear this. But... Like, what was a really cool moment for me, I was in Lake Tahoe. It was
South Lake?
I think South Lake. Yeah, we're saying Edgewood. You ever heard Edgewood?
My wife's family got a house out there.
So they were having that celebrity golf tournament. We were there 4th of July. It's where I actually met Andrew Whitworth, who went to my high school.
Yeah, he follows Bring the Juice on Instagram.
Love that. So shout out to Big Whit. And it's funny because
big motherfucker, bro.
Yeah. So like I saw that he was in town. I DM'd him. He's like, hey, man, I don't know if you know me, but would love to meet you. I know we went to the same high school. Obviously, he's a very great guy, decorative player. And we're sitting there. We go to dinner, and it's me and a few guys.
Whoa, hold up. You go from like love to meet you. You go to fucking dinner?
Not with him. No.
I was about to say things are moving way too fast.
We're at the hotel. We had the hotel restaurant downstairs, and he's like sitting across. Also met Vince Carter that night too, and Joe Mauer.
Dog.
Who not many people know.
Twins.
Catcher. Yeah. I was like, dude, I used to play with you on MLB The Show.
You know that, Mac? I'm a fucking sports guy.
I knew that too, for sure.
So I'm sitting there, and Big Whit comes down, and I'm like, hey, Big Whit, what's up, brother? Like, how you doing? And like, I was like, man, I know, like, I know we went to the same high school, but I know you went to LSU. He's like, man, like, I'm a Saban dude. I'm a Saban guy. Like, I don't care, like, LSU, Bama. He's like, I'm a Saban guy, because Saban coached him. I was like, oh shit, that's right, dude. That's awesome.
That is right. Fuck, I forgot that.
03. So or 02, 03.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
It's like
so it was really
ago.
awesome meeting him. I mean, obviously we had a lot of similar situations. Coming from the same high school, coming from the same town, and both playing for Coach Saban. And he's obviously had a really great career and is killing it in the media game. But that was really cool. In that same weekend, I'm sitting there. Our buddy Paul Tyson.
Shout out PT.
Shout out P. Tizzle. We're sitting there and like we're at a bar. It's probably later than 2, but I'm gonna say it's 2 a.m. and it's the only bar open in Tahoe. I think it was after 4th of July because we were there 4th of July weekend.
Damn, I was there too. Go ahead.
Oh, damn, what a small world. So we're sitting there and like I see a guy at the end of the bar. I'm like, damn, that dude looks familiar. I'm like, Paul. I look at Paul. I'm like, bro, is that Kelsey? He's like, nah, dude, that can't be him. I was like, dude, I think that's like I'm like 100% positive.
That's Trav.
Like, you got to think, I just buzzed my hair this year. Like, Kelsey's like, hey, swaggy white dude, that's the prototype. That's what you want to be.
Yeah.
So, I had buzz cut. I had the beard, like.
You were lined up.
Fresh. So, I was like, Kelsey, yes. Like, everybody was kind of like hinting towards that when I'd post.
Yeah.
Like, oh, it's baby Kelsey or wannabe or, usually it's like Dollar General Kelsey. All right, Kelsey. The shit I've gotten and what's sad is a lot of it is Bama fans that like Twitter warriors like I think it's hilarious, but like the comments I've gotten in the past is it is crazy because you drop one ball in your whole career and that one drop is that's a whole fucking different story.
Yeah.
That's a Hennessy story for sure. Anyways, so I'm like, dude, I'm telling Paul like I gotta say what's up to him. Like this is.
Yeah, no, it's fucking Travis Kelsey.
Yeah, it's fucking exactly. And I walk up to him like, "Hey, brother, like I don't mean to bother you. Like you Travis, right?" He's like, "Yeah." I'm like, "Man, like I hate to be this guy. Like, I promise you, like, I'm not some random dude. Like, I was like, man, I played for the Ravens. I played at Bama. Like, I just, I thought I recognized you. Just want to say what's up, man. And just, like, really respect your game. I think you're a great player, whatever. Like, I'm not trying to, like, glaze him.
Right.
Hey, man. Like,
show your respect, but not glaze.
respect,
You're glazing.
Respect recognizes.
Max, shut the fuck up.
Game, game recognizes game. Right?
Yeah, of course.
And he's like, oh, yeah, you that swaggy white boy from Bama. And I'm like, oh. That boy know my name? So I forgot, like, he went to Cincinnati.
Of course, Cincy man.
So we played Cincinnati in the Cotton Bowl 2021. Your boy scored a touchdown.
Teeter.
He was with Dieter and Mahomes. So, like we said, we're joking about the white boy thing. You see a white guy score a touchdown, you're like, oh, shit, that's that white boy. So
Slade,
that's how
it's the rarest breed.
Yeah, and that's that made sense to me when he told me, and I was like, oh, yeah. And then, we get to talking, and he like, he was with Mac in the Pro Bowl the year before, and we were talking about, yeah, that's my dog. We sent Mac a selfie, and he didn't see it till the morning because it was a little late. But really cool guy. Like it's so cool to see guys like that. Like, there's been times and situations that I've had like with Bama fans where you don't really realize the impact you have on people, and it's like because I don't think of myself being anything more than what I am.
Right.
I wasn't a first round pick. I didn't go have a 10-year long career, but man, I still played the greatest university and greatest team ever.
Yeah.
And for the greatest coach ever, and like our fans, they love that and they love us, and I'm very thankful for that. So in that situation, I was like really appreciative that he took the time out and like and then we had a few beers, like we were chopping it up, but man, just normal ass dude, and it's cool to see people that are the most popular, famous football players that are now he's dating literally the most famous woman in the world. But to see that he is like just a cool ass, normal ass dude,
right?
I was like, man, that's cool.
Awesome.
It was a cool little vibe. Yeah. So let's go back to after the Natty. So we go back to Tuscaloosa, and I hit up one of the owners of this bar called Rounders, which is like more of the clubby bars we have.
The Boom Boom Room. Shout out Boom Boom Room.
So I was like, hey, like
it means something else out here.
In 2017, I remember going to it was on a because you play on a Monday. The next Monday, you come back Tuesday morning. You come back to Tuscaloosa Tuesday. So 2017, they all came out and they all went to Rounders T-shirt Tuesday. That was Rounders' big night in the week. Obviously, it's still COVID at this time, but that's what they did. They got like the section up there, and I just remember seeing Tua like up there, like
keep going.
You're good. After throwing the craziest game-winning touchdown ever, I feel like that's a tradition. We got to do it.
Right.
So I text the manager. He's like, "Hey, I got y'all 2 free bottles on me. You have the big section, whatever." So I'm like, perfect. Okay. Telling all the boys we're firing it up, inviting people, whatever. We go up there. And Tennessee, when I first started Tennessee, I noticed things were changing. Like gained like 5,000 followers in one night.
Wow.
Yeah, and like I'm walking, and I also wore, shout out to my dog Edelman again, I wore his jersey out, and like people were like noticing me a lot more than what they used to. Because like in 2019, my name was starting to get out there as I was playing Wildcat. Because like I said, you see a white guy out there playing quarterback that's not the quarterback, like people are gonna recognize that name. My name's a little different, so that helps. But it changed a little bit after Tennessee. Like that changed. Now, I just scored the national championship in front of millions of people.
Yeah,
and we just won it. I've got the taste of what a celebrity feels like, which really? I like hesitate to say that because I don't want to sound
like a douche.
Yeah, 100%. But it's real. Like we go up there, we get to our section, and I'm like, there's a lot of screaming and yelling going. This is different.
Yeah.
Like I've been, like, oh, Slade, like what's up? Roll Tide, let's get a pick. It's like people were like almost like baffled to see us up there, and obviously Mac's in the section with me. Landon Dickerson's in the section with me. A couple other players, like, but girls are handing me their phone to not only
enter in your number.
No. They want me to video myself like this with them in the crowd.
Oh.
Like I'm like performing a song. You know what I mean? Like
are you Drake now?
Yeah. It was weird. Like I was like, you want me to do what?
Right.
You want me to take your phone, put it up here. You're like way down there.
Right.
And like get yourself in a video with me. I was like, this is different. And then of course, after a few
cold ones.
Yes. probably a few shots.
Hennessy
I get down
bottles.
there and I get with my people. I'm down there. I'm in the what do you call it? Just the
Masses.
well, you know, the
Mosh pit.
yeah, or the general admission. So I'm back there. I'm always people in like video and like obviously I didn't care at that point. Like we just won, so I didn't care like what I was doing, what was getting videoed. Could care less. But it was like you could see a difference. Like it was just like people like, oh my god, like I might get surrounded by people, girls and guys. Like it's not just women, and it's
People who swing both ways.
Well, all right.
Alabama fans
I'm
are different.
kidding. I'm
Frank needs
kidding.
to understand Alabama fans are
I'm
different.
kidding, man.
It just means
Drink
more.
some Henny.
It just means more.
It means
But anyways, and I'm just like, wow, this is different. Like this is what it feels like. Now, I was never on max status. I was never on Smitty, and you know, a lot of those guys couldn't and didn't step out because, and like I was listening to Pierce talk. Mac was one of those guys that didn't get COVID during COVID, so he couldn't go anywhere, and it was probably for the best. Yeah. You know, he was locked in, but I wasn't on their status, but it was wild. I was like, this is crazy. And then like we had another bar, 1225. Hey, y'all got this section. It was like the following Friday, same thing. Like I'm walking around, it's just like,
Yo.
so you please get a picture. Like you're my favorite player. I'm just like, and obviously at the end of the day, like that is really cool. And I tell people, even to this day, when I go back and I still get the same love. No one knows who the hell I am anywhere else other than Tuscaloosa and West Monroe, Louisiana.
Yeah.
Which is cool with me. I don't care. But when I go back, I get so much love. And like I tell people this, and I mean this when I say this, it means way more to me than it does to you. The fact that you like can sit there and like ask for a picture or like want to support me in any way, like I really appreciate it. I'm not sitting here like, oh, I'm some famous guy. I'm not at all. I never thought that. I'm still the same old kid from Louisiana. Like never would change. And I like now, I mean, I'm bouncing around a couple teams in the league. Like I never had that superstar status. I played high draft pick, had a long career in the league. But it is really cool to like see, and it's also crazy.
Right.
It was crazy at the time, and let's just say I took advantage of that opportunity, and I was probably went out a little too much.
You know what though, Slade? I think that's what makes college football great.
Yeah, 100%.
Because there's a time to work and there's a time to play.
Yeah.
If your play doesn't interfere with your work, more power to you, man. More power to you.
Well, one of my sayings was always know when, where, and how much.
Yeah.
Know when to do it, where to do it. Don't be going somewhere that you shouldn't be, and how much. Don't overdo it. That was always something I would say to myself. Did I always abide by those rules? Not every time.
There's gray areas.
Yeah, 100%. But, I felt like I worked so hard and I did everything right. Like, yeah, there were weekends and nights that I probably should have kept my ass inside, 100%.
Sure.
Am I perfect? No. But, dude, the people I've met, the experience I've had doing that,
right.
I will never get to experience that again, and I'm very blessed to be able to have experienced that. Like, even if it wasn't a drinking setting.
Right.
I've met so many, like, dudes that I'm close with that I've never met going out.
Yeah.
Like, literally, and I'm not saying, like, going out's, like,
the
yeah,
key to
you
life.
need, hell no. Like, yeah, you need to lock in. Like, but
it's time and a place.
You gotta have fun though. Like enjoy
balance.
your life. If that's not what you want to do, don't do it.
Right.
But if you're a social person like me and you like to meet new people and like to be around people and every now and then talk to a pretty lady, then do that. You know what I mean?
Experiences.
Yeah,
man.
and I say that, but yeah, were there times where I probably should have locked in more? Of course. But I always did though. I overserved myself this weekend. Let's lock in.
Let's lock in. Let's hydrate.
But 100%. So. But I say that because it's just like it was an awesome experience. It was really cool, and I am very thankful. And I know I'm not the only guy to experience that and have that type of moments playing at that university. But there's no place like it, man. It's crazy. I tell people this. I said, they're like, "Hey, what was it like going to Alabama?" I was like, "Well, football is this, and that, But I was like, dude, honestly. If you're not an athlete and you're a sorority fraternity or you're just a normal student at the University of Alabama, it's Disneyland for 4 years or 5 if you want to take another lap.
Right.
It's just people that they just go there they come from everywhere in the country,
Everywhere.
and they just come to have fun.
They were asleep.
And it's really like it's just a small town in Alabama,
Yeah.
but it's the people, the connections I've made, the amount of money at that place, like
I know.
it is insane. It really is, and it's just crazy that it all happens in Tuscaloosa. And I've been to Clemson, I've been to Ole Miss, I've been to what's like outside of just playing there.
Right.
I've been, I live in Fort Worth now, so I've experienced TCU a little bit, and I almost, went to TCU. Actually, that was one of the schools I thought about going to, and I was going to play both. I was actually play baseball and football. And I've been to and I've heard from other places, like been to Scottsdale. Scottsdale's a lot of fun.
Scottsdale's a good time.
It's very fun, but it's not the same. It's not the same. There's nothing like it. I know there's some places that compete, but I'm telling you, it's the greatest place, and I'm not going to sit here. This is not an ad for University of Alabama, but it is.
Sure.
Why not Bama?
This is what I'll say. We'll wrap up. We'll wrap up.
Whoa,
Bama.
whoa.
What?
Go ahead.
I
Finish
was
what
going
you're
to
gonna
say we're going to wrap up the Bama.
Bama,
Yes, we're going to talk post Bama, but before we end post Bama, let's just make it clear because Slade's already said it. Best university in the
100%.
country, best fan base in the country,
Yep.
best athletes in the country, best coach in the country, best women in the country, best everything in the country. University of Alabama, vote Crimson Tide for president. You heard it here first. Let the hen dog speak. All right.
I love it.
Slade, I got to ask.
What's up?
In my statistics, did you have one more year at Alabama before you declared?
Technically, I had two. So I had a fifth-year option, and
Yeah.
it's actually a great question. It's a good point because
I'm a professional. I get paid to do this.
You are, yeah. 100%.
I get paid to do this.
So you're
Welcome to
spot-
Bring the Juice.
You're spot on. Yeah.
Can I get your juice of Hennessy? Here we go. Can I get your juice of Hennessy?
Blue 80.
Half a bottle. It's almost out.
No, bro, that actually is fucking crazy. Jake, can you slide me that shit real quick?
Yeah.
It's scary, to be honest.
Yeah, no. So seriously, so you had opportunities.
I had two.
What made you declare?
So this is, I've been asked this a lot, and it's funny. I'll get, comments like, "Oh, if he would have stayed one more year, he would have helped his draft." It's like, look, I never really care what people say. I don't really care about most people's opinions, like, unless it's someone that I actually care about, right? And my thing is, I did. I had 2 more years. I had a 5th year and I had a COVID year. The reason I left, and look, all respect, that was loud. I love it.
I like to party.
You just, give me just a little. Yeah, that's good. So I had 2 more years left. I had a 5th year and COVID year. I had already got my master's degree. Wow. I was very fortunate and blessed because, early enrolling helped. And, did I have to drop a couple classes? Yes, but I was pretty much.
Fuck it.
I was pretty much locked in. So I was able to get my master's degree in 4 years. I did not want to go back to school.
What's your master's degree in 4 years?
Yeah, 4 years. Hey, I'm not as smart as I look, but
I'm not even saying that.
I might be smarter than I look.
I'm fucking smart as I'm like top GPA on the team smart, and I didn't get it in 4 years.
Well, that was just the plan. Like the guys that didn't want able to accomplish that was on you.
Sure.
So I early enrolled. I already had a head start. Like I was able to, as long as I didn't, screw up tremendously, I was going to be able to do that.
Yeah.
So I got my master's degree.
In 4 years.
4 years. Very thankful. Now, I got it in business. I went in the MBA. MBA was a 2-year program. I just took the one because I was planning on leaving, before the season even started. And I had my goals written up, right? And people may see this and be like, I can't believe you thought this. But this is how you got to think. If you
of course.
Great.
You're
So here were my goals. Blitnikoff finalist, top 3-round pick, 1,000-plus yard receiver, leader, be
captain.
Captain, yes, exactly. 10-plus touchdowns. I'd be lying to sit here and say that I hit any of those.
Yeah.
I didn't hit a single goal. And, at the end of the year, I'm like, I wasn't able to accomplish anything that I wanted to this year. And it sucked. Like, I'm like, but, you pray and you talk to your family and you're just like, I was kind of already wanting to leave. I had to rotate with a guy. I had, I just felt like
it was time.
It was. And here's the thing. I had made my name at Bama. I loved Alabama. I didn't want to transfer and ruin that relationship. Because, like, once you transfer, you're done, right? And I was just like, I didn't want to transfer and just be like, go get a better opportunity. Could I have? Yeah.
True.
It was either transfer or declare, and I wasn't going to transfer. Because my issue was if I came back, I'd either be in the same situation I was the year before, or hell, worse, I lose my job. And then I'm going to my 6th year, then I transfer.
Right.
Then I'm a 23-year-old, 6-year guy.
When your confidence is all fucked up and you're ruining a good thing.
And look, I respect Coach Saban more than a lot of people in this world, right? And look, I get it. He treats it like a business. But there were times where I felt like he was trying to replace me in a way. Mm-hmm. But hey, you can get a guy that's faster, younger for 2-3 years. I don't blame you. I'm old. Like I'm on my 4th year, or about to be in my 5th year. I get it. So there was respect to that, but it sucked. Like I felt as if I should have deserved more. But shit, I had Devontae Smith, my junior.
Some good dudes.
Yeah, Devontae Smith, Mechie, and then my senior year I had Jameson and Mechie. It's like, I get it. Like, I know I'm not getting the rock every time. I've had conversations with my OC. I had conversations with my receiver coach. I was always hesitant to have that conversation with Coach because I knew what the answer was going to be. And whether or not that's right or wrong, whether or not I have any respect or not towards that, I mean, what he was going to say was probably going to be the truth. Yeah. And it was probably going to be right. And I was going to take it on the chin. Mm-hmm. So, hey, if you could do this better or you could do that better, you get more opportunities. And I'd have been like...
It's your life, though, bro.
Like, you're right, Coach. Like, but, hey, throw me a ball. Let me rock out a little bit, put me in the game plan more. But that's just how it is. And, look, at the end of the day, that helped me at the next level. Because you get to the next level and you have to fight. It's a job. That is your job. And, like, that next guy, that next draft pick, that next whatever, that younger guy's coming in, if you don't produce,
taking your fucking job.
100%. So it prepared me for the next level.
Right.
So yeah, like I didn't get to accomplish the things I wanted to accomplish, and that sucked. But I just felt like it was time, and I didn't want to transfer, and I was healthy. But here's also the kicker here: I get hurt my rookie year. I missed all preseason. Imagine if I'd have got hurt my 5th year. If I'd have came back to Bama or even transferred, I got hurt. I missed the whole season.
And then
I'm a 6th year with no film from 5th year. Then I already see an injury prone guy. All the flags. Yeah.
25. Who was a 25-year-old rookie?
Right. So it's like, hypothetically, retrospectively speaking, it's like, okay, if I'd have came back and still, because me getting hurt, I think I was going to tear my sports hernia regardless. Like, it was just wear and tear, playing football over the years, playing at Bama, just constantly grinding. Right. Yeah, it was going to happen because when I thought it was my right side. I tore my right side, and I got the MRI back, and my left side was also torn. And I didn't know it. So I had to get both sides done. So I'm saying is, like, people can say, like, oh, you should have stayed. Like, first off, you don't know.
Everything should have, would have, could have.
Yeah, 100%. But imagine if I had came back for a 5th year and got hurt. Because I was out for 10 weeks. That's the regular season. And then I lose my job for sure. I'm going to have to transfer at that point. Yep. Then I'm transferred as a 6th year.
To where also?
Right, exactly. So at least I was able to get some financial security through being on IR, was able to get paid doing that. Now, I didn't know NIL was going to be like it is now.
Yeah.
So that may have been different. If I knew NIL was going to be like this,
maybe different.
Shit, I'm coming back immediately. Yeah, because at that point, I might be getting quarter and not playing, but I'm still getting a quarter. So it's all what ifs. It's all hypothetically speaking, right? But I do think that would have sucked if I'd have came back and got hurt. Now, did I know I was going to get hurt before I decided to declare? No, of course not. I did not want to, of course. But that are some things that played into that it's just like, I just felt like it was not time. It was time to go, and I was very, very fortunate for all the years I had at Alabama, and maybe the man I am today. It's created so many opportunities for me, opened up so many doors, and at the end of the day, the people I've met playing there, And some of the people, I would have never met you. I would have never met you.
Wow.
If it went for Alabama. And obviously y'all too, but it's just like, that I think is the most important thing to me, is the relationships I've been able to build, the experiences I've had. Man, it was a fucking ride.
That's good. Beautiful things in sports. Slade, my last question before we wrap things up. We didn't really dive too deep into your NFL career, but just talk us through how well Alabama prepared you to be a league player.
Yeah. Exactly how you just put it.
Yeah.
The way we prepared.
Yeah.
The way we prepared every day. We treated every day like it was a game. And like I said earlier, yeah, like I was learning from the best college receivers, the best college coaches, the best head coach. So I was able to adapt very quickly and learn very quickly. But when I first got to the league, I was like, this is what we do? This shit's easy.
Wow.
I can do this all day. And the other guys that were coming from different, like when I was with the Ravens, guys that were coming from other teams were like, man, this shit's hard. This is the hardest working team in the league. I'm like, I'll take this all day. This is easy.
Like your chicken, baby.
Yeah. So I think the way we went about just our preparation, how we studied film, how we game plan, like how we practiced, how we worked out, how the off season was treated. Everything was so just dialed in, scheduled. It was easy.
Yeah.
I promise you, if I wouldn't have got hurt, and I'm saying this with full confidence, if I wouldn't have got hurt and I missed all that film and would have got maybe a little more opportunities in Atlanta and UFL, that's a whole... I couldn't tell you what the fuck happened there. That's some bullshit. And I'll say it right now. But now I felt like that was my last opportunity to get some film. But, you know, it is what it is. The Lord has a plan, and maybe it just wasn't part of His plan for me. But I swear to you, if I wouldn't have got hurt, bro, I was killing the boys.
Yeah.
And they hate going against the white boy.
Yep, they do.
Hey,
I mean,
scarier.
Look, so
I was going to make that team in Baltimore.
Oh, no
100%.
doubt.
Yeah.
You can't tell me different. You can't tell me different.
One of the biggest notes, two notes I want to take away from a lot of things Slade has said, because I've been quiet obviously through this, because we didn't even talk about how we're going to do the co-hosting thing. So look, don't judge me on this experience.
So
y'all done great.
I haven't. Frank's obviously been asking the questions and everything like that, and if I knew my role would be bigger, I would have done and prepared a lot more, folks. But the thing I want to say, two quick notes from a lot of the things Slade said. One of them that Slade said was talking about Coach Saban, and the thing I think is cool that I realized in a different situation, different sort of circumstances that you realize is like nothing's personal. Or nothing's personal is the word I'm in.
No,
because like at the end of the day, it's business. And that was really hard for me to realize in my time there. It's like Coach Saban makes moves, and like you said, it prepares you for life, because you realize at the end of the day, it is business. You know, people, it's not like they're trying, like people have relationships, but I think Coach Saban did a good job on that. Another thing is early on in the conversation, shout out to our boy, obviously, Mac Jones.
Yeah.
Absolute dog. And you talk about your time grinding with him and doing all this, like this shit.
Goober.
We did the same
Love
thing.
that guy.
Works harder than anyone.
Yeah. And I will say this, and you can clip this shit. He will be a starting quarterback in the league again.
He will be. He will be a starting quarterback in the league. I said this.
Wait,
this
wait. I feel like Mac Jones should come to the golf tournament next year.
Let's get Mac Jones to the golf
He
tournament.
sounds like a golf tournament.
He is a
I would clap his cheeks in golf, but yes, he's a golf tournament.
I got kind
Whoa.
In golf, okay? Everyone take it a little bit down low.
You're clapping cheeks?
In golf, okay? Look, I know you don't know, buddy. You don't know about golf.
I'm sucking dick in golf.
Yeah. Suck his dick in golf.
We're going to edit this shit out.
Edit this out. Edit that fucking shit out.
Right.
Okay.
Oh, that's
sorry. Listen, all I want to say is big shout out to Mac Jones. I agree with you. I think he'll be a starter. I said too, and this is a wild quote, but I believe. What is that?
You got hair in your lip.
Dude,
That's it.
this is a wild quote. I told people, and I've said this to a lot of people, so it comes back to Tommy. Screw it. I said that Mac Jones will be Tom Brady level by the end of it. I know that's a wild statement.
I don't know if he has enough time to get the Super Bowls, but I think as in like as
If
a
he
player,
finds his flow, if he gets in his flow like he was at Alabama, it's game over.
Dude.
and he will be an absolute, and he is already.
You're talking to the most Mac biased person ever.
We're all Mac
but I'm
biased.
also very realistic. I think Mac's a fucking dog.
He's a dog.
He just got put in a very shitty situation. I might as well have been there with him.
And you got to
I
get
heard
him
about every single week. And he's in a terrible situation in New England. And I think he's obviously a lot happier being in Jacksonville. It's a very good opportunity. Unfortunately, they got a really good quarterback there. They just paid, so he's going to play. But I do believe eventually he will get another opportunity, Lord willing.
And if Mac Jones was the starting quarterback, I will say this. Trevor, what's his last name?
Lawrence.
Sure. Okay, we're cutting that. Trevor Lawrence, the starting quarterback right now of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Great guy. I've heard great things about him. A really good guy. To be honest, I think if Mac Jones was starting quarterback this year for the Jacksonville Jaguars, they would have a better record.
Wow.
And I will stand on that. Wow. And that may be a little bit biased. I will stand on that.
Preach to the choir, baby.
This has been a great pod, Slade. The thing is, we play with each other, and we've had a relationship and a friendship. But it's also, you brought to the point. It's just cool how all this works. Small world.
It is.
It was great to get to know even more about your story than I even knew playing with you at Bama that Frank got to get out of you.
Yeah.
So
I was there. My one thing was I thought I was going to be able to accomplish a lot of things and hopefully use my story and platform to help people.
Right.
But it's funny how, even though I didn't get to play in the league 10 years, because I was thinking 30 for 30, I was like, I'm going to get a documentary on my ass. I'm gonna really break this shit down. And one day I will probably talk about more of the things that I did see and experience as a kid. But it's funny how, even though I didn't get to accomplish that, tenure in the league or whatever, that probably would eventually led to the opportunity of being able to tell a story in depth. It's funny how I ended up being in front of a camera and in front of some pretty cool dudes that could possibly get that out of me. So,
Slade, I appreciate you, baby. I really do. Appreciate you coming out to Fresno. Mac, appreciate you for linking us. We still got some Hennessy to kill, so we might try to nice all later.
yeah. And you've never seen a bigger Bulldog fan than I am. So
Oh yeah.
But I will be barking at bitches.
You take motherfucking. Say Georgia.
And let me say this, Frank. Let me say this. If you are a betting man, if you are a betting individual out there, and I know you are, and I'm saying anyone else out there, if you're looking for the most free cash money play of your whole entire life, and somehow you can get this on your book, I've got one answer for you. It's 2 words: Mac Dalena, Agent Zero, hammer passing, hammer receiving yards, hammer touchdown, hammer everything that you have in your bank account. If you have to withdraw, if you have to call your mom, you have to call your dad, bring it all out, put it on the sportsbook. Mac Dalena to the house. Let's freaking go.